If you could single-handedly choose anyone, alive, dead, or fictional character, to be the next president of the United States, who would you choose, and why? This thread just shows me that there are very few political leaders today that we universally respect and admire. I think a big part of this is that basically nobody is 100% good. Nearly everybody is living in these shades of grey, influenced by their upbringing, religion, beliefs, experiences, etc. Trying to do what they think is right to them. But what is right to you may not be right to me. Your experiences may be vastly different from mine. So to find somebody where most people agree, yeah, that person, they're good, is hard enough. And then they have to be famous enough for other people to know, and qualified for an immensely stressful job. Good luck. Another major problem is that extremely good and considerate people really hate, or are lack a lot of motivation, to get into a position in power. Captain Jane Luck Pickett of the Starship Enterprise, because he's a scholar, a gentleman, a diplomat, and a bad but chief officer. Captain's log starred at -302,389. 84. I have been pulled back in time to govern the country, where they would not wear masks in the middle of a pandemic. I heard that in his voice. I can visualize the facepalm. Mr. Rogers. I mean, who could say no, or be mean to him? Then he would be disappointed in you, and most people wouldn't be able to survive that. A fictional version of me where I'm much smarter and impervious to corruption. Should really be impervious to budbutination. Damn. Sauron. The age of men is over. The age of the orc has begun. Edit. For everyone making like Silmarillion and book references to me and reading the books, but I'm not done them yet. According to Tolkien's lore, it's about high time Morgoth broke out of his imprisonment and came back to Earth. That'll make 2020 even more interesting than it already is. It's about time for Dagger-Daggereth, get Erendil, Tulgus, and Turin, and we'll have a good row. I've always liked that prophecy. Would be nice for Trent to finally get his revenge, though he might still manage to find a way to mess it up. President Comancho, find a smart person and make them deal with the serious issues, is exactly the type of leader we need right now. Shut. I know shut's bad right now, with all that starving bullshit, and the dust storms, and we are running out of french fries and burrito coverings. But I've got a 3-point plan that's going to fix everything. Number 1, we've got this guy not sure. Number 2, he's got a higher IQ than any man alive. And number 3, he's going to fix everything. Now I know everyone's shut's all emotional right now. I know everyone's shut's emotional right now. Terry Crews' delivery is so compelling. My god. Either of the Rogers, Fred or Steve. Wholesome, moral, know when and who to rely on. Why not both? Have Steve as a VP, Fred as a president. So the ticket would be Rogers 2020. Roger Imperial March starts playing. Ben Wyatt. Ice Town costs Ice Clown his town crown. They will begin to rhymes. Phil Hartman. If for no other reason than Phil Hartman would be alive again. Hi, I'm Troy McClure. You may remember me from such /r/us credit threads as What is Delicious but Deadly, and What Would You Do with Hydraulic Arms? This is great. Somebody needs to create a Peter Explains the Joke type account, where they exclusively do this. Minerva McGonagall. A warm, rebutting personality, but strict and no nonsense. Indeed. And if anyone ducks around too much, she will straight up set them on fire, which is an effective negotiation tactic. Effective negotiation tactic is one way to put it, my dude. Aggressive negotiations, my friend. Gandalf. Not sure if I'd pick grey or white though. Has Gandalf the Grey for the first term, loses re-election, then comes back for a rematch 4 years later as Gandalf the White. He wins 2 terms as Gandalf the Grey, dies, wins 2 terms as Gandalf the White. But nobody can be president for more than 2 terms. Yes, nobody. But I have a shiny new body. Hiru. Professor X. Because he knows everything. Magneto. Because Magneto was right. Both were right. One was radical and the other wasn't. Kind of like Cheller and Killmonger. I think they were originally based off of the ideals of MLK Jr. and Malcolm X. They were. The original X-Men comics were heavily based off of the civil rights movements in America. That cat hoss mayor of an Alaskan town. Stubbs, I think. He'd do a good job if the residents there are to be believed. Stubbs for 2020. Meow is the time. Stubbs 2020. Pussy grabs back. Fantastic. Perfect. Atticus Finch. He knows law. So I agree. Samwise Gamgee. Unprecedented loyalty. Commitment. Potatoes. Gamgee/Baggins 2020. Boil M. Mash M. Stick M in a stew. His stance on immigrants is tough. He was Shire Mayor and Councilman for the Northern Kingdom. He has the political experience. Marie Kondo. Should just start throwing away states and government officials BC they don't spark joy. Does this man spark joy? Asks Empress Kondo. He does not. The crowd roars in response. And he is thrown into the pit. On this episode we will tidy up and reorganize Congress. What we want to do first is to gather up all the politicians and put them in a big pile. Who would have thought that there are so many hiding in the closet? Holy shit, that was amazing. Drive. Strange. Dude can literally see all possible futures. He will choose to do exactly the right thing every single time. Or he'll choose the one where we think he's doing exactly the right thing. Mayo exactly. The right thing long term may mean total chaos and anarchy now. Or a nuclear war that eradicates 90% of humanity but ends up with true unbreakable world peace afterwards. Would he choose the right path or the right path? Think in Gemergy. Considering the side he was on against Thanos, he would probably be against eradicating 90% of humanity. Maybe he was only against Thanos because he's purple. Roy Mustang. I don't know, man. His policy of having all women officers to wear miniskirt may not be welcomed in this day and age. Okay, but consider. Who the hell would turn down Roy Mustang? If he wants that, then we'd all be too amazed by his charm to do anything. The sheer amount of FMA fans would get him the vote. Elle Woods. Vote for Elle. She already butted Bruiser's bill and everything, guys. Commander-in-Chief. This absolutely needs to be a Legally Blonde sequel where she runs for president. My girlfriend calls then it have a girlfriend. AHH. So you weren't fictional. You wouldn't know her. She presidents for another country. Palpatine. For a safer, securer society. And he loves democracy. He loves the Republic. Once this crisis has abated, he will lay down the powers you have given him. Bob Ross. He cares about nature and learning, and was in the Air Force. He's a more rounded pick than some might think. Apparently when he was in the military, he was more of a well-rounded prick. The Full Metal Jacket screaming at the recruits type. He switched to chill painting and afros after that experience. Alive. Because dead or fictional would not be an effective leader. This is a real answer. Aragorn, son of Arathorn. Only the return of the true king can save man. If by my life or death I can protect you, I will. You have my sword. / breathily in my bow. And my axe. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Has not brave enough for politics. Well, better this than more Gundarks. Or sand. I hate sand. I'd pick myself. I've played a fair amount of Civilization. I'm pretty sure I can do it. I was the school president in 8th grade, so I think I have the proper experience. I was our school's vice president in 9th grade, then the school secretary in 10th grade, so I'm pretty sure it'd be the perfect running mate. Alright, cool. Let's do it. You two have my vote. Drive. Doofenshmirtz. Most intelligent man alive. Ruler of all 50 state areas. Good thing is he comes with Perry, so if Doofenshmirtz screws up, Perry will immediately fix it. Yeah, for sure. Chewbacca. I just want to watch that Soto address. RRWWWGG Ragwaga. You know, he makes a very compelling argument. He'd win every debate. Cause, we all know what happens when a Wookiee loses. Bender for president. I vote for Flexo. Screw this. It'll make my own presidency. With blackjack. And hookers. On second thought, forget the presidency. Is there any reason not to pick Yoda? Well, he does run over minorities in his 2001 Honda Civic edit. I have sinned by misprinting the manufacturing year of our Lord Yoda's Honda Civic. I have corrected it. Yoda. PLS don't run me over. MMM. And ketamine he does in the GD Temple locker rooms. Screw it. Let's bring Teddy back. Edit. This isn't a ringing endorsement for 100% of what TR did. You don't need to keep commenting that. Damn right. I'm pretty sure he would be totally on board with helping to fight climate change. And he would destroy monopolies, like he did, which we could use. Rick Astley. Has never going to give us up. Never gonna let us down. Never gonna run around and desert you. Never gonna make you cry. Never gonna say goodbye. Taking out people with magic powers. I think you could get no better a leader than Captain Picard. An expert diplomat. Someone that appreciates science. And someone with enough courage to stand up for not only all Americans, but for all humans. Only if he can also choose his cabinet from the Enterprise as well. He relied on his team. From all walks of life. And he knows that his knowledge has limits that they can fill in. Plus who knows what else 2020 is gonna throw. We might get Romulans. Romulans? Please, we would be lucky to get Romulans. We're getting the Borg and half of us will volunteer to buttermill it. Wait, I'm losing track. Wasn't the Borg butt immolation last month? No, you're thinking of the Cylon attack last month. This month is the Borg butt immolation. Next month is when Skynet declares war on us. Bill Pullman 2020. We could use an inspirational speech right about now. We will not geo quietly into the night. Edit. Wow. My first gold. Thank you. And appreciate all the cake day wishes. This scene hypes me up every time. Uncle Iroh. He would solve all the problems of the world over a few cups of tea. He probably wouldn't want it. He had the option to be the new Fire Lord and turned it down. I'm a firm believer that a president should consent to being the president before becoming the president. Edit. I can't reply to all of you, which is why I'm editing this comment. But I'm not saying that power hungry people are the best presidents. I'm saying you shouldn't literally imprison someone in the Oval Office and force them to do one of the hardest jobs in the country without asking for their permission first. Someone who reluctantly steps up to take charge because they see that fear needed is fine. Zuko then. He had a hard path, but it was his own path, and he learned and grew to become a good person. Funny Valentine. .gr / Lemmy. My neighbor. He's a cool guy and he selflessly helps people out. His golden retriever could be his vice president too. I also choose this guy's neighbor. It'll never not upvote offshoots of this comment. The original dead wife comment is still my favorite comment on Reddit. Uncle Iroh has the best wisdom of any character I've ever seen. Edit. Thanks for the awards, kind strangers. He would be humble enough to turn it down, but he would first elevate the right person to take his place. After tea, of course. OFC. The tea was implied. I'd take a swing at it, since we are letting just anyone do it now. I second you / Unethical. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you want more videos, don't forget to like and subscribe. You are helping me a lot. Thanks again.